Hello, beloved. This is Lainie Love Dalby beaming in, the cosmic creatrix of the Sacred Revolution Oracle, oracular astrologer, and the founder of the Ecstatic Embodied Leadership Academy. And I am on a mission to free human spirits to sparkle shamelessly and step into their full power and sovereignty. And I'm so thrilled to be beaming in with you today around the full moon in Gemini at 16 degrees. That is exact just after 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today, Wednesday, December 7th, 2022. And so Gemini is a mutable air sign that is ruled by Mercury. And it's the creative muse and the shapeshifter, the eternal youth, and the one that is a messenger and writer that carries crazy wisdom. So it's the magician energy and the fool. And they are really the free electron or the gypsy of the tribe. And so the keywords here for Gemini are around communication and mental mastery and trusting your inner wisdom and changing directions quickly. And so Gemini and Sagittarius are both associated with teaching and learning, and Sagittarius with higher ideals. And of course, since this is a full moon, the moon is sitting opposite the sun in Sagittarius. And so this air energy, this mutable air that can be very swirly with Gemini, is grounded by practicing honesty and integrity. And so especially with this particular full moon, because we also have a Mars retrograde that's exact conjunct to the full moon. And so this is really giving us an opportunity to revise our choices and really align with what we want to stand for and where we want to channel and focus our life force energies moving forward into 2023. So really asking, where can we become more honest with ourselves and more aligned with our truth? Where can we lean in now to our higher purpose and calling with the sun in Sagittarius, expanding us ever forward since it's ruled by Jupiter? And where can we allow our values to really lead us forward since the North Node is still in Taurus? And with Jupiter in Pisces, this is still a great time to continue to revise our big dreams. So with this particular illumination of the moon, we have the capacity for some big realizations, downloads, and truths to be revealed. So be on the lookout for those. And both Gemini and Sagittarius tend to like to use the head, the mind, spirit to navigate things, since Gemini really likes to think about things and Sag likes to get a higher vision of it. So this can be a really great time, since Gemini is ruled by Mercury, the messenger, to really have conversations, to brainstorm, to capture our thoughts on paper, to tune in again to that bigger dream, to the truths that are wanting to be revealed now. We also have Neptune that's stationed direct, and Neptune, as the planet of spirituality and soul purpose and intuition, that is associated with Pisces, has been retrograde since June, which has been a time of soul revision. And now that it's direct, we're getting yet again another infusion of expansion and spiritual insight specifically. So this can be a great time to break our limiting beliefs. And of course, with the Gemini energy, the mind, the mental patternings, old stories, old ways of being, we can really break those now and move forward into a new level of soul-aligned living. And so in keeping with truths revealed, I wanted to speak into the Lensa app that is taking social media by storm this last week, and also San Francisco's recent approval of the police petition to use robots as a deadly force option, since both are related to a big transit that is coming in 2023. And I'll be talking more about this in our Oracular Astrology of 2023 live workshop later this month, which you can find info about below. But for now, I wanted to speak into when Pluto, the planet of rebirth, rolls into Aquarius next year for a 20+ year transit. So in this transit, AI is set to have a massive surge. And so the question here, when we're really thinking about truths and aligning with values, is, will humans and machines actually play well together? And a part of me really believes that only if we remember the ancient future will this be possible. If we continue to return to indigenous life ways instead of going into what could become a crisis of morality, if we aren't thinking of the implications of some of this technology. So we must really stay close to and remember the heart of what matters most now. That is key and essential, and it's actually what we practice in our Soul Sparkle Sanctuary Inner Circle learning and practice community. And so, this is where we really gather 3 times a month to spiral into our own truth and focus on the heart of what matters most, to return and remember. Because we need to be mindful to stay close to our humanity and let that lead as we're moving forward into this future. And the Lensa app is really a perfect example of this, since it's getting you comfortable with the digital avatar version of yourself instead of your real, raw human self. But the issue here is what most people don't know is that Lensa app is operating on hundreds of thousands of stolen art images and has the right to use your images for anything they desire, indefinitely, without any compensation to you. And sure, it's fun and the current trend taking social media by storm, but at whose expense? And what values are you compromising to engage in it? So it's using the open source stable diffusion model, and it's using copyrighted art from artists around the world. And stable diffusion was able to skirt around copyright by training their program on open source data from a nonprofit called LAION and calling it research, Laione. And it's completely indiscriminate and lacking in morals all around as well, with the types of graphic photos that it includes. And so this moon is illuminating being cautious of groupthink as well, allowing yourself to see beyond sight, being willing to look behind the veil of what you're being shown to get to the real truth. And this full moon is about illuminating the truth at any cost, keeping it real, being clear about what is trying to hijack your mind and alter your consciousness. So it's an invitation to stay vigilant, to truly stay vigilant and to really look beyond the veils as to what is really happening, what is really transpiring, what is really here for us, and to realign with your own values, to realign with your own truth, and to not go into a place where you're compromising that. And so I want to get into our juicy cards here for today, which are really sharing a lot of medicine around all of this. But I wanted to share a few updates before we dive in. And so our early bird is ending tomorrow for our Sovereign Sisters Rising Mystery School, beginning in January 2023. And this is really an opportunity to step into the next level of your becoming, to refocus in on that truth of who you are, and to ignite your full wild feminine, creative, spiritual, and sexual power to transform the world. So this is really an opportunity for you to step into the next level of your ecstatic embodied leadership in the world and to really bring forward your full medicinal power, especially if you've been told you're too much anytime in your life. And so this is really for the paradigm breakers, the way showers, the ones that are here to really catalyze that ancient future and to really bring forward a whole new way of being, this whole new paradigm and new earth. And it's really a powerful journey where we travel through the body and all of our energy centers to awaken our full Shakti life force, our full catalytic Kundalini energy to be in service to the heart of what matters most. And so the early bird is ending tomorrow for that. More info below. Also, Monday, the 12th, is the last day to get your Oracle deck orders in for the holidays. So we have some amazing holiday bundles to get a free oracular astrology reading and access to our oracular astrology of 2023 live forecast. So there's still a few spots left for that. Again, find out below. And finally, the doors to our Soul Sparkle Sanctuary learning and practice community are open. And we begin at the end of January 23. And this is our year-long membership that's filled with spiritual teachings, sacred ceremony, and fierce support to really help you shine your light in dark times and keep your vibration high for the revolutionary journey ahead. And we gather 3 times a month in Sacred Circle for new moon ceremonies, ecstatic dancing. We dive deep into astrology and oracle, and also have sacred play dates together. And this is really to help us maintain that sustainable burn and that shameless sparkle with all that is moving in the world. And the astrology for 2023, let's just say it's not that light. There's a lot moving, a lot going on. So having these spaces to come together and to return and remember our truth and to tap into that are going to be really, really crucial for this year. So with that said, I want to dive into the cards today. And so the first card that came through is number 36, which is the multidimensional opener of the way. And this card is really all about tapping into higher levels of consciousness. It's about accessing higher mind. It's about accessing these new levels and ways of seeing and being in the world. And it is really opening to the expansion that is possible when we lean into seeing with new sight, seeing with new eyes, really allowing ourselves to see beyond those veils that might be hiding that core truth, and allowing us to truly tune into the other realms and the multi-dimensions to help us do that. And this is also a card of divine messengers. And so really feeling into, since Mercury is the messenger, really feeling into if there are any divine messengers or messages that are wanting to come to you now. And our next card is the Galactic Rainbow Shamanist. So this only enhances this idea. Are there any guides, benevolent, unconditionally loving guides, power animals, ancestors that are wanting to come in now to support you, to offer you messages about the larger dream, about where you're going, about your expansion? And of course, the shamanist's greatest tool is the imagination, but the shamanist is a bridge between the worlds that really walks between the worlds to receive information, wisdom, guidance, healing, and brings that back for the community, for the collective, for greater healing, for the personal and the planetary. And so this card is that invitation to allow yourself to connect to the other realms and to really be able to attune to the subtle, attune to the energy that is all around us, because this is about knowing that all things are energy. We are all connected in this web of all life through energy, and really allowing ourselves to tune into that grid of energy to be able to support us in the journey of ahead, and for us to be able to fully see the truth that is here. This is being able to see in a different way, to see beyond sight. And, in my deeper studies of astrology and becoming an oracular astrologer over the last decade, it was when I really could see that I could apply my shamanic sight, because that is the core of my path as a shamanic practitioner and healer, that, when I really was able to use that lens of seeing the chart through shamanic sight, it completely unlocked. Because you see beyond what is here in the 3D. You see beyond, and you see the connection to that greater web of all life. You see what is beyond sight. And so this is really an invitation to that, especially with these two cards together, and that there are some divine messengers that are wanting to come in now and support you, whether that is angels, ancestors, guides. And be sure, if you are tuning into that, to ask to really only connect with benevolent, well, unconditionally loving ancestors and guides, to really call in those beings that have your highest interest at heart, your highest self, and are holding that and supporting you on that journey and what you're here to step into next, and allowing them to help support you in these truths being revealed. And so what are you being asked to see beyond sight around? What is it in the 3D that you're being asked to lift the veil and see in a new way? So this is a really powerful card around that. And we have another card amplifying that, number 13, which is the mycelial web walker. So again, connecting in to that energetic web and really feeling, allowing yourself to feel and trust your inner wisdom and guidance. I know many people and many friends have been posting, for instance, going back to the Lensa, conversation, which Gemini invites us to conversation. So really opening that conversation here, that, that with that, it didn't feel right. Something didn't feel right. A lot of people tuned into that, like, something doesn't feel right about this. What is actually going on? And so, and there is no shame or blame or anything. It's just being able to attune in a little bit deeper to say, okay, what is actually happening here? What is the truth? And so allowing yourself to connect energetically on the web and to feel where you might not be able to see, and to be able to allow yourself to be in your ecstatic embodiment, to tune into that energy and to say, okay, I'm feeling something here. I'm feeling something coming in. I'm feeling something that feels misaligned or that isn't aligned. And so really listening to that, listening to those messages, because our feeling body and our sensory awareness and all the different clair senses are extremely valuable messengers. And remembering that with the illumination of this full moon. So where are your clair audio, clairsentience, clairvoyance? Where are these clair senses really supporting you in giving you deeper information, deeper insights to the truth? And so really allowing yourself to listen to that, to tune into that, while continuing to connect into that greater web, because this card is also about gathering in beloved community, in sacred circle, because it is when we come together in this space that we do remember, we do awaken, we do come together. And so, really making sure to set yourself up as we move into 2023 to be held in beloved community, to be in containers that support your growth and your becoming and your expansion and you actually living those big dreams. All that we do in our Ecstatic Embodied Leadership Academy, in the Soul Sparkle Sanctuary, even in the Mystery School, it is about supporting you in living into your big dreams and actually making them a reality, grounding them here in the 3D. So finding those support structures for yourself to help you make those big dreams a reality moving into this next year. And she's looking off to the east, to new beginnings, to new horizons. And so again, refocusing on what it is that you value most, revising that big dream. What is it that you're calling in, and who do you need to surround yourself with to activate that, to catalyze that, to bring that into being in the 3D? So really allowing yourself here to tune into the web, to be held, to be supported, to be stewarded at this time, and to weave new stories. So again, Gemini with the mind, with writing, spider is associated with creative writing, and we weave spells with words. And so what spells are you weaving with your words, with these big dreams that you're writing down? And really asking what is in the way of that as well. What old stories, what patterns need to be broken and released? Since full moons are about release and letting go, we have this opportunity to break those old patterns, those old thoughts, those old stories and ideas, those old mental constructs that aren't in service, that are ready to go. And so the next place that I want to go is number 50, which is co-create your life as a great masterpiece. So this is really that invitation, again, to that big dreaming energy, to really tune in to, what is the stroke on your canvas that you're wanting to make next as you move into this new year? What is it that you are truly co-creating with spirit, with this web of all life, with the multi-dimensions? What is it that you are bringing forward? How are you catalyzing? What boosters are you adding to your rocket so that you can truly, shoot off into your revolutionary potential as we move into this new year? And this card is also associated with the top 5 deathbed regrets. And the number 1 deathbed regret is, I wish I had lived a life true to myself and not the life that others thought that I should live. And that is really core around this full moon, because it's like, what is your core truth that you are here to live? Not the truth that someone else is telling you, not the truth that someone else is really placing upon you, but what is your truth, the story of your life that you are writing, this art piece, this canvas that you are creating? Because I believe we each have a unique stroke that is meant to be added to the great cosmic masterpiece, and if we don't add it in this lifetime, it is lost. And so we are the artists, the creators of our lives. We get to determine in co-creation with spirit what it is that we are really calling forward as we move into this new year. And, the Jaguar is here, and the Jaguar is about shadow work. And so really seeing any places where you might be still operating from shadow, because most of the time we're only operating from 10% of our conscious mind. So again, where is our mind being hijacked? Where is our consciousness being hijacked? Either by external forces and machines, or by our own internal shadow, our own internal inner workings. So where is our consciousness being hijacked? Really looking at that and doing the work that you need to do to bring that into clarity and into consciousness. I've been doing a ton of soul retrieval and shadow work sessions over the Scorpio season into Sagittarius. And, because we have the Scorpio South Node right now, it's such a powerful time to be doing shadow work because it's a deep clearing. It's dredging up from the depths, from the swamp, what it is that we really need to look at and reclaim our energy from. And so it no longer has power over us, but that we have power, that we are standing in our true power, because the shadow can have control and power over us. And so it's really restoring and returning to our core power and truth in that, and bringing that to the light and into illumination. And so what shadow realms need to be explored to be able to really stand in your fullness and co-create this next level of your great masterpiece and who you're here to be? And so the next card that I want to bring forward is number 16. This is the Keeper of Thunder and Lightning. And so she is a way shower and an earth warrior, and she is here channeling her light, her medicine, her healing into the world. She's holding fierce vision with the eagle here, and also with her enlarged third eye. She is really holding that visionary third eye of where she is going, what she is creating, how she is with the serpent transforming, what is in the alchemical fires of transmutation, and what deeper truths and knowing with the owl, which is all about real gnosis, real wisdom. So tuning into the real wisdom within you to be able to channel and bring out into the world. And there's a light language coming out of her hands as light wands, as healing light wands, which I believe we all have that capacity to really utilize our hands as healing wands for our own bodies as well, especially. And she's channeling this light language. So she's communicating that Gemini, that Mercury energy, communicating what is true. And she is holding fiercely to that. She is taking a stand for what matters most. And this moon can illuminate that for you. What are you taking a stand for? What is it that you truly want to live for and by? And, what is it that is most aligned with your values and who you're here to be? And then living that, bringing that nutrient to the ecosystem, to the web, because that's how we all can thrive. And that is such an essential part of this. And the next card I want to bring forward is 30, which is the holographic grandmothers. And this card is associated with the Council of 13 Indigenous Grandmothers, but it's also associated with Indigenous lifeways. And that was sort of what came forward earlier when I was sort of sharing about, how are we going to move forward in a good way? Dancing with AI, dancing with humans and machines. How are we going to stay attuned and to not lose our humanity, which is essential? And so this card is really inviting us to remember those indigenous life paths, those life ways, those ways of being, of staying deeply connected to the body, to the earth, to this web of all life, and allowing technology and these pieces that will inevitably be coming in, allowing AI and this influx to support and enhance and grow and develop this energy instead of actually harm it in any way. And so allowing us to remember, again, that ancient future, which Aquarius really is that ancient future. And remember, Pluto is going into Aquarius. And so bringing back those indigenous ways of being into the here and now, and bringing those forward into the future in ways that support our evolution. Into Homo luminous, which Alberto Villoldo talks about, this idea of, we're becoming a new species of higher consciousness, of higher light, of higher energy, of higher frequency. And, really what is going to support that journey? And of course, staying rooted in our bodies and rooted in the earth is a huge part of that. And that's a huge part of what this Oracle deck is all about. The Sacred Revolution Oracle is about igniting a great homecoming of love and reverence for the body, the earth, and the web of all life. So staying deeply connected to that energy is crucial as we move forward. So the Oracle deck will really support you in that journey if you don't already have it. And, it's one of the reasons why when I got the message from Spirit 2 years ago that it was time to create the Oracle deck, it was very much for these Pluto transits that we were in. It was actually like, it needs to come for this Pluto and Capricorn transit and the Pluto and Capricorn return of the USA. It needs to come for the next Pluto and Aquarius transit. It was like, this medicine needs to be here on Earth now for people to access, because it is for the paradigm breakers. It is for the ones who are here to help steward a new way forward, to help steward that ancient future. And so being in that remembrance and connecting to our ancestral knowing and our ancestral wisdom as we really transform into this next level of who we're here to be individually and collectively, and remembering the grandmothers, learning from the grandmothers, sitting at the feet of the grandmothers as often as possible. I've just actually entered into a 4-year commitment with the Moon Dance to sit at the feet of the grandmothers and to dance with them under the full moon and to really tune into this deep, deep, deep lineage wisdom that is here now, that is needed now, and to not lose those threads of remembrance, especially as AI, as tech, as these other forms start to come in, that we aren't fully hijacked, that we remember our humanity, that we tune in and tap into that we remember our spiritual lineages, our ancestral lineages, the indigenous life ways and life paths of those that have walked before us, and really merging those in a way that can be supportive for that evolution to the next level. So these are some of the seeds that I wanted to plant for this full moon in Gemini today, conjunct that Mars retrograde, and really reflecting, revising, and really looking at, okay, where are we going? Where do we want to go? And to actually look, especially with technology, with these things, of the consequences of them, the moral consequences, the actual, how these things can be applied and utilized when in the hands of those that have ill intent. And, and so really being very clear about what it is that is happening and where our consciousness might be affected. So again, seeing beyond sight, seeing beyond the veil, really being vigilant, and surrounding yourselves with those that can support you in this vigilance, in allowing you to really be so supported on this journey, regardless of what unfolds, and to really feel held in that next level of your becoming, and to have those opportunities and spaces to tune into your truth, because the world is very noisy, the world is loud, the world is chaotic, the world is distracting, and it is designed to distract us from our truth, from what we know, from our inner knowing. And, one of the other cards that had sort of jumped out of the deck earlier was trust the wisdom within. And so spaces that support us in tuning into our inner wisdom and giving us that container where we can spiral in and deeply listen and attune. And that is the core of all that we do in our Ecstatic Embodied Leadership Academy, because that is such essential medicine for us to be here in a good way. And also practicing the 13 pillars of the sacred art of sparkling shamelessly. And the first pillar is the deep root, which is to root in ritual, ceremony, and ancient ancestral wisdom, which is that indigenous life ways. So to really keep that as an anchor as we move forward and embrace the new and embrace the change and embrace that future, but to remember the ancient lineage and ties and how that can support us in our evolutionary process. So with that, blessing you on this full moon in Gemini, honoring you for the journey, and really just wanting to thank you for being here, for tuning in. And just remember that the holiday bundles, you have until Monday, so just about 5 more days to get those orders in for the holidays. If you know any other paradigm breakers that are really here to steward the new earth and the new paradigm, to really share this medicine with them and spread it as much as possible, because it is truly potent medicine for the Aquarian age. And you can find out more again about our Soul Sparkle Sanctuary Inner Circle Learning and Practice community if you'd like to come together in sacred circle with us to really be held on this journey. And then the mystery school as well. That early bird is ending tomorrow. So if you're really looking for a deep yoni vision quest to activate the full aliveness and ecstasy in your body and to channel that towards this transformation, really her energy in a lot of ways, if you're ready to be totally catalyzed and activated in a potent way in the Serpent Sisterhood, definitely check out the Sovereign Sisters Rising Mystery School. And until next time, sparkle shamelessly for the good of all. And I will see you soon, beloved. Bye for now.